Hello.
The elements of the communication.
All right. The elements of the communication that in fact is going to be your homework. Okay. Here we have the sender. No, that is the person that is trying to communicate something. In order to do that, that person is going to choose the medium, in this case, a cell phone. The receiver, right, is the person that received that information. And then, well, we have what we call the message itself. When the person answers to the sender is when the feedback is going to take place, okay? So we analyze that in that way. But what is a speaking? Speaking is an interactive process of constructing meaning that involves producing and receiving and processing information. It's not only to take a look at what it is, it's not only to produce sounds. There are certain elements in which you are involved. And here we're talking about that you produce information so that someone else can receive that information, trying to understand, because that input needs to be modified. In that way, it doesn't work if the other part, that is the receiver, modify it. So how important, sorry. Oh my God. So how important is it to receive that information? Look at this. If you didn't got it, like in the previous one, the message is not going to take place. As simple as that, even if you tried. So when we talk about speaking, we are talking about that process in which everybody is involved. Probably you are not conscious about the situation, but we are involved in it. Is it difficult? It's an unconscious process. However, when we are under extreme circumstances, we tend to modify that. And we're trying to work on certain skills that we can use it so that we can assimilate the message easier, no? Because that is the main concern, trying to understand it. But what are some features of a good speaker? And that's what you're going to do when you work on your debate, when you work on your simulation or your interview. All of them are exactly the same thing. The main purpose of them is to communicate each other. Probably we have a different channel, a different way to express ideas. But in general, we're talking about the same. All right? It's exactly the same. It's as difficult as if you prepare a debate or a simulation or an interview. All right? So why? Because you need to organize your ideas. You need to focus on what you are trying to say. You need to use appropriate language. If not, it's hard. Trying to work on something that you are not accustomed to is hard since the very beginning. But it doesn't matter. The technique you use to express your ideas all of them require certain features. And probably one of the most difficult one is to anticipate. Try to analyze the situation and anticipate what is coming. Why? Because that anticipation is going to give you time. Is it true that it's little time to organize your ideas in mind and try to more or less visualize what you are going to say? And then you produce the expected patterns of a specific discourse situations. So it means based on that anticipation, you're going to have the chance to analyze the situation itself and try more or less to produce expected patterns that the other person is going to analyze. They must also manage discrete elements. What is discrete elements? So in the debate, in the interview, in the simulation, you need to have turns. That's what we call turn taking. You cannot interrupt each other. A good speaker usually paraphrase a little bit what the person said at the end, like a summary, like to show him or her that you really got it. Rephrase it, provided feedback, or redirecting the conversation. But if you're going to talk without control, that is not a good speaker. A good speaker is the person that pay attention to what the other person is saying, respect the times. Try to paraphrase in order to be sure that he really got it. It's a way to tell the other person, oh my God, I'm here just in case I'm paying attention. And then you can provide that feedback or redirect the conversation because probably you didn't manage in that way or there was something else or something different to that. Everything depends on the situation. Everything depends on how you work it, no? But what is communication? Communication is the sum of all things a person does when he wants to create an understanding in the minds of another. It involves a systematic and continuous process of telling, listening, and understanding. Communication is a process by which people create and share information with one another in order to reach common understanding. A debate, for example, doesn't mean that you are going to fight each other. An interview doesn't mean that you are going to ask question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. And the same happens with the simulation. You need to create that environment that facilitates that. What are the elements of a communication process? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to think about.